Good morning, Santa Clarita. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCDI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. Eye on the Valley is brought to you by SCDI and iLEAD Schools. That's right. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've also got a fully accredited online school, a burgeoning home study program called iLEAD Exploration, and yes, all of them free public charter schools. How can you afford to do it for free? Well, just like any other public school, they are paid for by your tax dollars. So check us out at iLeadSchools.org for more information on any of our classroom-based, virtual, or hybrid schools. That's iLeadSchools.org for more information on any of our schools. So yeah, we've got our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but like the show says, we keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we do so while trying to put a little smile on your face, because if you're not grinning, if you're not giggling, you're just not doing it right. So yeah, check it out, y'all. It's cooling off out there. That's right. College football is back. The weather's cooling off. Looks like fall is just around the corner, right? We got highs this weekend in the mid-70s. It's going to be nice and comfy. So bring a blanket to that concert in the park this weekend. Oh, wait a minute. It's September now. It is September now. Concerts in the park is over for the summer. Well, that's too bad. So what are you up to? What are you doing this weekend? You got anything going on? It's a great weekend to head down to Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers have been on an absolute tear lately. They're hosting the Braves this weekend, so that could be a postseason preview. The Braves got a good team this year as well. But whatever you do, get out and enjoy it. It's going to be an absolutely amazing weekend here in Southern California. And you know what else is going to be amazing? Today's show. In just a moment, I'll be joined by Megan Miller. Megan is the curriculum librarian with iLEAD Exploration. Our home study families have such an amazing resource at the curriculum library, and Megan is here to tell us all about it. And in hour number 2, we've got Kelly O'Keefe coming in. Kelly joined us about a year and a half ago to talk about an incredible event that she was putting on for the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. Well, it was quite successful, and she's at it again. And you're not going to want to miss this one. Kelly's putting together an incredible program for the Michael Hoefflin Foundation coming up just next weekend. So we'll preview that for you in hour number 2. And yes, Big T will be on at the end of the show. Mom doesn't let me do a show without Big T, so he'll be swinging in with fun and trivia, and so like I said, it's going to be a great show. Let's go ahead and get it started. My first guest is the curriculum librarian from iLEAD Exploration. Megan Miller herself has been homeschooling her own 4 children since 2015 and has been with the iLEAD family since 2017. Megan fell in love with curriculum when she began homeschooling her own children, so much so that she is now currently attending college to become an English teacher. Megan, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, Megan, I think that bio's a little bit old. Are you still studying, or did you get that degree yet?
I have one more semester left.
You got one more semester left. Ah, bless you. I love being in school. Love learning all the time. That's why I never left. I became a teacher. So, Megan, tell me, what originally drew you to you and your family to homeschool and then eventually to iLEAD?
Originally, my daughter was in 8th grade, and she was in a brick and mortar school, and she was just coming home with like 8 hours of homework and a lot of like talk about things that were not academically related. And I wondered, like, what did you do all day that you have so much homework? And it just like took up a lot of her free time to study and not have that option to do anything else.
Yeah, and that's kind of a thing. It's funny. It seems like there's so much that goes on in those brick and mortars that kids don't have time to do their work. So so you moved into homeschool and eventually found us at iLEAD, and lucky for us. And so now you're working for iLEAD Exploration, which is our home study program, as the curriculum librarian. So when people think of home study, they don't often think of something like the school library. Can you tell us a little bit about your role as the curriculum librarian with iLEAD Exploration?
Yeah, so everyone at iLEAD Exploration gets funds to pick the curriculum they want. And since these funds are public school funds, anything that is non-consumable or could be used again by another family is returned to the school. So the Acton Library and the OC Library house all of those, the curriculum, books, manipulatives, all kinds of stuff.
So yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. As a home study family, the money that the school would typically spend on books, materials, curriculum, things like that, goes into a fund that our families have access to, and they get to choose the curriculum. And then what happens is like, okay, so if my son or my daughter is in iLEAD Exploration and I choose to use those funds to buy a chemistry book, right? Well, then I return it at the end of the year because I don't need it anymore. Well, now that chemistry book is in your library, available for everybody else to come in, pick up, check out, and utilize, and then they don't have to use their funds on it, right?
Exactly. So it's just such a great way of like community where you order books that you need and then they are passed on to another family. And then those families can use their funds that they would have used on the chemistry book on something else that another family could find benefit with.
But so now, Megan, you and I have met. You know how old I am. When I think library, I think of exactly that, books. But I was at the curriculum library just a couple weeks ago, and you guys have got so much more than books. Can you talk to our listeners for just a second about, you could never go through the litany of stuff that you guys have in your stacks. It's only a 2-hour show, but just a quick example of the variety of stuff that you've got for your home study families to come in and check out, again, completely free of charge.
Yeah, families are so creative, and I love to see what they buy or that they order with funds. There are games, puzzles. There are math manipulatives where you can learn shapes, division, telling time, all kinds of like very specific games. We have egg incubators if you want to grow your own eggs at home. We have just pretty much anything you can think of. Microscopes, biology kits, just everything.
And you know what? One of the things that I saw that I couldn't take my eyes off of, we've got a meteor shower coming up this weekend. It's supposed to be an incredible meteor shower. You guys have this incredible telescope sitting there in your curriculum library for families to check out. You've got microscopes, you've got wet labs, all different kinds of stuff. And then again, these are all materials that families can come in, they can check out, they can utilize, and then bring back, and they don't have to use a dime of their educational funds, which again is kind of this pot of funds for them to use on their kids' materials. Is that right?
Yeah, everything is free to check out. We never touch funds, and and if we have stuff like workbooks or wet labs, they don't have to return those. We don't want to see those back.
Oh, okay.
Anything that gets returned that another family couldn't enjoy, they get to keep.
Okay, so those consumable things they don't have to return. So speaking of return, how long are families, because I mentioned a chemistry book, right? It does my kid no good to check out a chemistry book for 2 weeks. So how long do families have before they have to return these materials?
There are no due dates in the curriculum library. So if you use the chemistry book and you decide we want to do chemistry next year, hold on to it. If your kids love this game, play with it until they're done. As long as you're enrolled with iLEAD Exploration, you're welcome to keep the materials with you.
I absolutely love that. No due dates, no late fees. As long as you're enrolled with iLEAD Exploration, you can keep the material. That's beautiful. Again, iLEAD Exploration is iLEAD's home study program. We are a free public charter school. If you're looking to home study your child, you can enroll in iLEAD Exploration. You'll get connected with what's called an EF, a credentialed teacher, who will guide you, support you, help you choose the curriculum. You'll get educational funds to purchase anything you need, and then anything above and beyond that should be right there at the curriculum library. Megan, tell us where you're located so that families know how convenient you are for us in this area here.
Yeah, we are located in Acton, right off of Sierra Highway and right off of Crown Valley. So we're right by the freeway. I can see the freeway from my window. So you can just get on, get off. And also I wanted to add, there are no limits on checking out materials. So if you are further from Acton or you don't want to make the drive, get what you need and you can keep it. There are no limits, no questions here.
Aha. So if I need something, not for now, but maybe for second semester, I can grab it, shove it up under my elbow, and you're not going to browbeat me on my way out.
Never.
Okay. Megan, iLEAD Exploration has been one of the fastest growing programs that the iLEAD Charter School Network provides. Was there always a curriculum librarian when Exploration was maybe smaller, or is this something that you grew into?
I was the first librarian hired for the position. Before there was like kind of a storage area that ES could drop off materials and then pick them up for their families. So it was all EF run and within that circle, so families couldn't visit. Then COVID happened, and they in Orange County they set up a way to pick up materials. You could order online and then just pick them up, not go inside. But then in 2021. We started both the OC and the Acton Library for parent browsing.
And I love that. That's beautiful. And it's probably important to mention to our listeners, because we're a charter school, our boundaries are like wide open. As long as you live in, check me on this, make sure I get them all, LA County, Orange County, Kern County, San Bernardino County, Ventura County. As long as you live in one of those 5 counties, you can attend our school. Since it's not a campus you're dropping your kids off at, you don't have to worry about the commute. But we do have, that's the reason we have those libraries, one in the Orange County, one here in Acton. And I say here, it's perfectly located between the Antelope Valley and Santa Clarita Valley. So very convenient for all of our families here in the North County area. So yeah, we've got the OC library, and we've got the library here in Acton. So at the curriculum library, what's the most popular item that parents request? What is it that you see people coming in for most often?
I would say curriculum for sure. We have a lot of the really popular reading curriculums right off the bat. If you order the curriculum full from a vendor, it's about $300. But if you just need the workbook because you got everything here, it's about $40. Oh, wow. So it's a huge fund saving where you can use those funds to somewhere else. I know that when I first started, I have 2 kids enrolled, and we saved about $2,000 in funds on books that we would have ordered with funds, and I just happened to find them here at the library.
And again, when you talk about a reading curriculum costing $300, that's not out of pocket. That's the funds that are set aside for families to use on their curriculum. But yeah, you're right. If you can check out the curriculum at the library and just use $40 of your funds to get the workbook and spend the other funds on other items in your curriculum, then you're just really developing a really, really rich curriculum for your kids. So the library, the curriculum library at iLEAD Exploration, it's not like what most of us think as a school library full of books then. You've already talked about some of the items that you've got there available at the library. What are some items that maybe folks wouldn't really think of? We've talked about microscopes, telescopes, workbooks, textbooks. What's something that may shock people? Where is it that folks turn the corner in the curriculum library and go, whoa, you've got this too?
Yeah, we have egg incubators, egg turners. There's a lot of egg projects I see going on, but again, like most people don't want to raise eggs permanently, so they do one project where they watch a chicken grow and then return the incubator. So we have those here. We have paper making kits. We have flower press kits. Just everything. I'm always so excited and in awe of the creativity that parents come up with.
Yeah, you guys have got so much stuff in there. A colleague of mine, actually producer Sarah here on the show, she happened to attend an event recently at the curriculum library. It was the preview day, I think it was. She came back, she tells me, Matt, it was like Black Friday. When they opened up those doors, families came rushing in and were just gobbling up everything because you've got so much available for them. Was that kind of an exciting event, having all those folks come rushing in at the beginning of the year like that?
Yeah, I've tried to curb that to where it's not as crowded, and I've never been successful, but I think families are just so excited to get back to learning, get back to school. They love those like open access days where it's just like, what did you get over the summer? What was put in here that's new? For the rest of the year, it's usually pretty calm with just a few families a day, but that is our biggest, and Black Friday is the perfect euphemism for that. It's pure chaos, but I love to see that families are just so excited to get back to just this education they're doing together with their kids.
great way to put it too. Education that they're doing together with their kids, and it is exciting to see families so fired up about curriculum. iLEAD Exploration really is an amazing home study program. Trust me, if you have never home studied, it is not what you might think it is. They've got all different kinds of interactive activities, and like we said, the curriculum library just up the freeway here in Acton for all of our iLEAD Exploration families. Megan Miller is the curriculum librarian for iLEAD Exploration Home Study Program, and she's joining me this morning. Stick around. When we get back, Megan's going to be sharing some really cool things that she's doing with her middle schoolers because, like I said, home study, homeschooling is not this isolated program. Megan's working with middle schoolers across Southern California, doing some pretty amazing things. We'll talk about it when we get back. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCDI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCDI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm joined this morning by the curriculum librarian, Megan Miller from iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's home study program. And we were talking before the break about all the amazing resources that Megan and her team have available for our families, iLEAD Exploration families, to check out free of charge. Again, Megan, you said no due dates, no late fees. Families can keep these items as long as they want. As long as they're enrolled at iLEAD Exploration. And we were just talking about all the different things. And producer Sarah's reminding me of the different things that you have available. You have printers available. Think about it, because go ahead.
Yeah, we have printers, we have staplers, we have pencil sharpeners, all your like homeschooling office supplies. We have everything here.
And then I remember one mom in there recently get super excited because you do have some musical instruments. And I'm a band dad. My son played the saxophone in the band, and to rent a saxophone is wicked expensive. Any instrument really is. Y'all had, for this mom, a left-handed guitar. She was so fired up that you had a left-handed guitar for her left-handed son who wanted to learn to play the guitar. She was super excited. So those are all the different...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I just love when people find instruments here because I have a child that will try every single instrument and then 2 months later just be like, oh, I'm not interested in that anymore. Right. So I don't know that we would be as supportive of her love of music if we weren't being able to check out things on her whim. And there are just materials being added every single week in the library. Every week the inventory is completely different. So even if you visited last week, it'll be totally different this week. There's always new stuff being added in.
Yeah, because just as often as families are in checking stuff out, there's families in returning things. And so now that we've been around for as long as we have, it's just cyclical. So there's new things showing up all the time. We mentioned how innovative the educational program is at iLEAD Exploration, and it's not what families would think of as a typical home study program. Y'all offer live classes for all grade levels now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I know that every grade level has a live component.
Every grade level has a live component. You guys have actually launched your high school live program where there's live classes in every subject in high school. That's been going on for elementary school levels for a couple of years now. So there's live instruction for your kids so that they can interact with other kids. And if you're leading the way with most of the instruction at home, maybe you want a little bit of a break or have your child check in on that math class, whether it's just for fun and interaction, or if they're going to be doing that math class every day. But Megan, as a teacher, I've always enjoyed teaching high school. High school's been my jam. Early in my career, I fell in love with elementary school, but I've always felt that, it takes somebody kind of special to truly fall in love with teaching middle school. But you've done exactly that, right? You've started a middle school book club, and you're working with middle schoolers on a book club. I got to tell you, Megan, when I was in middle school, book club was the last thing I was interested in. Can you tell us about your program and how it's being received?
Yeah, if you had told me a year ago that middle schoolers would be my people, I would have laughed and just shaken my head. But yeah, so I started last year with the book Frankenstein. It's my favorite book, and I threw it out to my boss, and I said, "Hey, I really want to read Frankenstein with some high schoolers and maybe some eighth graders. Do you think like parents would like think that's okay?" And iLEAD has always been the leadership of iLEAD has always been so supportive of just anyone who wants to throw out new ideas. So they said, yeah, go ahead, like do it. So I made it for eighth grade through high school for Frank to read Frankenstein with me. And so many middle school parents reached out, like sixth and seventh graders saying, I know my child can handle Frankenstein. They would love to join this. And I was like, okay, you know, like you're their parent. Like if you feel like they can handle it, totally. And so it turned out that on the live calls, the middle schoolers were there. The high schoolers were there too, but the middle schoolers were there, attentive, cameras on, interacting with me, commenting on what was happening. And then we watched the movie in the library together, and only middle schoolers came, and they were just so enthusiastic about the movie and how it didn't stay true to the book, and they would have liked it better if this, and they were just so amazing. So I was like, you know, I'm going to focus on middle schoolers. And that's how the book club came about.
That is fantastic. So, so you're doing this on Zoom. Is it open to just certain kids in middle school, or is this because y'all have over 3,000 learners at iLEAD Exploration? It's open for all middle schoolers to join.
Yeah, anyone. We even have some ninth graders who are joining, but anyone who wants to read the book. And I'm because I don't have a teaching credential, I feel like I have this kind of like hippie vibe or whatever. But I think what makes the book club so fun is that it's their choice to come. They're choosing. It's not a class they're enrolled in. It's their choice. And so the kids who are there want to be there.
Yeah, and I bet they love it, right? Especially being in a home study program, that opportunity to come together with other middle schoolers, talk about a book that they're enjoying. So how many middle schoolers did you have join you for that? Well, you had middle and high schoolers. How many kids did you have join you for that first book, Frankenstein?
The original, I think there were 10 total that were participating with me.
Okay, and so is this now you're in your second go-around, third go-around? How many books have y'all done?
Well, for the second semester, I just planned a book a month, so we ended up reading 4 more books together, and at the end, we had about 22 kids at the most participating, so it doubled.
Wow, so it's really grown. That is fantastic, and you were doing a book a month. That's amazing. You've got your middle schoolers really ripping through and becoming voracious readers. So tell us, what books have you guys been reading together?
Well, last year we read Persuasion by Jane Austen. So these are 2 books that are 200 years old, that they are engaging with the language and the concepts and the cultural aspects of what was happening at the time. We also read Hidden Figures, and they wrote their own essays about a hidden figure in their life.
Nice.
We read Amala Unbound, which is a story about a girl in Pakistan that ends up in indentured servitude. And they wrote these amazing essays about educating girls around the world and what education means to children. And I think they had a lot of like learning on, oh, wow, I'm really lucky that I'm getting the education that I'm getting. Like not everyone has this opportunity. And then our last book was They Called Us Enemy, the graphic novel about George Takei's family in internment camp. And we got a lot of World War II concepts with that, and just like really great connections that they've made with like science and social studies.
Wow. And so your middle schoolers are really engaging with things like Jane Austen and things like that. That's stuff that they're connecting with.
Yeah, absolutely. I had one learner who began reading, and she was like, I just can't read this. It's too hard. And I said, okay, I have a modern version written on a PDF. I'm going to send it to you. Use it how you see fit. I didn't want to give it to everyone because I thought they might just go to that. And by the end, she was like, no, I figured it out. The PDF didn't really help me. Her language was so beautiful. And I really wanted to read her language.
Megan, that is beautiful. You offered her a crutch and she said, no, thanks. Jane Austen's language is just too rich. I don't want to miss out. That is amazing. Okay. So gosh, you read Amala Unbound, Jane Austen, Frankenstein. What books have you got coming up this year?
Okay, so today we start The Last Quintista, which is a dystopian fiction about the end of the world. We're going to explore interstellar space travel, botany, and then also Hispanic heritage folktales, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. The book even mentions La Llorona, and I have like a very kid-friendly unit for them to go through on La Llorona and like what that means to like Hispanic heritage. So I'm really excited about that one. We're going to be reading Edgar Allan Poe, Alice in Wonderland. We're going to read Code Talkers about the Navajo translators in World War II. We just have like so many great books coming up.
Gosh, Megan, any chance that you might mix in a little bit of variety there so the kids aren't reading the same thing every month?
I try.
I'm just kidding. My Lord, what a litany of literature you're providing with your middle schoolers. Again, we've got Megan Miller. She is the curriculum librarian for iLEAD Exploration, a free public charter home study program. She's leading a middle school book club for iLEAD Exploration families that kids are just devouring. And you're providing so many options. And now, do you see kids, because like I said, you're hitting books across the spectrum of just about every genre. Do you find some kids are like checking out when they're not interested in a book, or do they stay dialed in even if it's maybe not something in their wheelhouse?
One thing I've noticed about middle schoolers, and I think like it's very hard to parent a middle schooler. I'm parenting my fourth middle schooler right now. And I think like parents like suggest like, hey, go to this book club. And it's just like a place for them to connect with each other. So I have kids that are like, you know what, I'm doing other stuff for school. I don't even want to read the book. I just want to come for the group. And I'm like, come for the group. Like, that's fine. And every time we meet, I give them a synopsis of what happened in the book that we had just read. So they all are on the same page. They all have the same information. It's just like a very equal place for them to just meet and socialize. And I see now that middle schoolers really are looking for that connection.
I love that. Yeah, they're getting that connection. And so I don't even see, now that sounds a little bit more like my speed when I was in middle school. I'll show up for the book club as long as I didn't have to read the book. But you kind of keep, I bet it gets kids excited about it to where you have kids coming in, not really reading the first 4 or 5 chapters, but then they get into the story and start reading chapter 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. There's always kids who are like, I'm not reading that. And I'm like, no worries. Like, you just come. And they always end up reading it, I think, because they're just really good books. I don't pick a book unless I've read it and I've like been moved by it. So I know that these are really good books for them.
What a beautiful opportunity for our home study families. Megan, I'm so glad they have you. But this isn't all you're doing. All right. So you're running the curriculum library, which is a heavy lift already. And then on top of that, you're leading the middle school book club with our home study families. But you've also got a current events writing club. Is this the same group of kids or different group of kids? Tell us about your writing club.
Current events is pretty much is a lot of the same kids. There's some overlap and some outsiders or outliers. But current events meets every single day. They don't have to come every single day. Some people do. Some people only come like Tuesday, Thursdays. Some people come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just whenever it fits their schedule. And there's about 20 kids that meet daily, different kids, same kids. Like, it's just a really fun group.
So did I hear that right? You're offering it every day?
Every single day at noon, yeah.
Every day at noon, you've got kids coming in with and they're writing about current events. What do you find that your kids are writing about?
So we watch CNN 10 together as a group, which is a 10-minute news show designed for middle and high schoolers. We watch that together. And then I always put in a discussion post in our Google Classroom about one of the current events that happened that day. So every day it's a different discussion post, but then we stay on for another 20 minutes or so and discuss the topics together. So they can either discuss live with each other in person, or they can go to the discussion post and discuss with each other online.
Very cool. So you're reading or you're watching some of the top stories of the day, and then kids are either responding on your Google Classroom or they're discussing their live. And then are they developing some sort of writing outside of that time, or kind of what's the format as a kid kind of merging in? What is it that they're doing?
So I am a writing I guess I don't want to say tutor, but I'm a writing like cheerleader,
Right.
just in my own like life. So I always post a weekly writing challenge, and they can choose to participate or choose to not. Again, I'm not an EF or anything. Sometimes EFs will assign it, and that's up to them. But they just participate when they want. So there's always like a writing challenge that has to do with grade level standard writing, writing like 5-paragraph essays, writing formal letters, any kind of like middle school writing thing I try to touch on through the year.
Okay, so you're throwing challenges out there that kids can have the option to pick up. You kind of touched on that EFs can assign that. Again, I want to reiterate for our families, this isn't parents out there on their own trying to figure out what to teach their kids, how to teach their kids. You've got the guidance of a credentialed teacher in your EF, it's short for educational facilitator, and they're the ones that are assigning the work, obviously collaborating with mom and dad or whoever's in charge of the home study program there to assign curriculum. And the EFs will assign these challenges. So you're getting stuff out there that's rich and exciting that your colleagues are grabbing onto and assigning to their kids, huh?
Yeah, I would use it that way as my, sorry, I've been homeschooling for a really long time, and I would never leave my, my EF because we've just been together for a really long time. And there are just times where I know I would not assign writing if she didn't tell me to, or I tell my kids all the time, like I would never do math if I didn't have to. So it's definitely that accountability factor, but also like a really good place to get ideas. As a homeschool mom, you're like, your EF might want a writing sample, and you're like, I don't know what you mean by that. What do you want them to write? So this is just like a more structured way of teaching writing where it's tied into the current events they're learning about.
That is beautiful. So what are some of the things that your kids are writing about? What are they talking about? What are some of the things that they're discussing in your middle school current events writing club?
One of my favorite ones from last year was during the G7 summit. We heard about it almost every single day on CNN 10. So the writing assignment was to write a formal letter to the G7 summit. And I just got these beautiful letters that these learners had written to the G7 summit, like just mapping out the things that were important to them that they thought that the G7 summit should focus on. And I think there was like not littering, about eliminating smoking for health, just like all kinds of topics that we hadn't talked about, but I could tell were on their minds.
That is really interesting. That is so cool. Did anybody actually send them off to any of these world leaders?
I have no idea. I just read the letters and I was just like, oh my gosh, you guys are just, I'm just like, I try not to fawn over them or call them cute because I know that's kind of weird to them.
Kind of pejorative, yeah.
Like, I'm just so impressed with them every single day.
Oh, that is beautiful. So you're getting amazing results through your book club, through your current events writing club. Have you heard from the learners themselves? What kind of feedback are they giving you? What are your kids saying as a result of your book club, your current events writing club?
I think that the fact that they come in every day and there's about 20 of them every day, I feel like that's speaking to it working. Some days when I'm not working in the curriculum library, we do what's called overtime, where I'll stay on. Normally the call is 30 minutes, but I'll stay a little bit later. On Tuesday, we had an overtime call where they just had so many thoughts on tipping culture in California, in the United States, in the world. They just went on and on forever that we didn't even talk about other topics that were on the CNN 10. We just kept going. And then some other kids were like, hey, what about those topics? And I was like, okay, let's do overtime. And so they switched to the screen time limits that China is proposing on kids. Oh, wow. And just that they're having these conversations and they're like hashing out these like opinions, and you can watch their opinions about the world just grow and develop like right in front of you. It's been magic.
That is beautiful, Megan. You are totally my kind of educator. And from what I understand, even more so than meets the eye, you are a huge fan of satire, and you're actually using satire to teach kids. Megan, I want to talk about that, but we need to take a quick break. We'll get to it when we get back. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. Megan Miller joins me this morning. Megan is the curriculum librarian for iLEAD Exploration, iLEAD's home study program. Megan, for just a second, I kind of want to recap for our families, maybe folks just tuning in now. First of all, iLEAD Exploration is a free public charter school. It's a home study program where you're on an independent study model. Families learn from home, but they're not isolated at home with no support. They have the full support of their fully credentialed EF, which is a teacher. We call them educational facilitators because the families are the ones directing the study there at home. But then they've also got access to educational funds so that they can purchase all the curriculum that they need. And if their educational funds don't cover everything they need, that's where you come in. You're the curriculum librarian, and you've got a library right here in Acton. There's also one down in Orange County because our families are all over the place, where families can come in and check out items to help supplement their curriculum. Megan, one more time, I know we talked about it earlier, but can you just kind of give us that sort of shotgun look at what families might find in the curriculum library? Again, free to check out, no due dates, no late fees. What have you got for our families there in the curriculum library?
Well, we have every single type of curriculum you can think of here. We have books, games, puzzles, toys, but we have like manipulatives that focus on like single subjects. Like if you just want to learn division, we have division games that are just division. If you're trying to learn out your CVC words, you can find a game for that here. We just have so much stuff that is just waiting for you to check out with your kids, take it home and just play together and learn through that fun like game hands-on learning where parents and kids are connecting to each other.
And trick question here, for what grade levels have you got material?
We have grade levels from TK to 12th grade. We even have some college textbooks because we have a lot of learners that enroll in dual enrollment with their local community college. They order their textbook and then it comes right back here. So we even have college textbooks.
So our iLEAD Exploration families have access to their fully credentialed EF who supports them every step along the way. You mentioned how in love with your EF you are and you would never choose anybody else. But we hear the same thing about all of our more than 100 EFs at iLEAD Exploration. Then there's those educational funds, the curriculum library, and then all the other amazing programs that people like you and your colleagues are offering. We have groups offering High School Live, where there's live high school classes every day. We've got groups doing project-based learning, where kids are opting into projects that are help developing their curriculum. You've got, again, you're offering a middle school book club and current events writing club for your middle schoolers, where you're getting kids super fired up about current events and about literature across the genres. One more time, Megan, what books are you going to be reading with your middle schoolers coming up this semester?
We are starting with The Last Quintista. That starts today, but you can always come if you miss a call. And then we have Edgar Allan Poe. We're reading Code Talkers by Joseph Bruchac about the Navajo Code talkers in World War II.
Yeah.
We have The Green Glass House coming up, which is a really cozy book in January. Mm-hmm. We're reading Finding Langston, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and then we're reading Midsummer Night's Mayhem, which is a kind of an allusion to Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, and we're going to talk about that topic there too.
Fantastic. So I just, it amazes me when I step back and look at the program with iLEAD Exploration, all the different things that you're offering for our home study families. And again, offering all these things families can opt into or not. You can totally customize your child's curriculum. It's amazing. And then Megan, I was so excited about everything going on at the curriculum library the other day. And then you happened to mention to me a couple of weeks ago when we were chatting, you told me you've launched this new idea with your learners. You're teaching them about critical thinking. Very important skill, it's one of those things we call a 21st century skill. Everybody's got to learn to critically think in today's world. But you're using a rather interesting device to teach your kids critical thinking. Talk to me about what you're using to teach critical thinking with your learners.
So I'm finishing my English degree and I am currently working on my thesis project, and it's about using satire to teach critical thinking, which I think is such a great skill. But satire has always been just a passion of mine. I haven't found a satire that I didn't just absolutely love. So to pass this like knowledge on to them is So fun. So it's for middle and high schoolers that I'm working with. And, just the concept of satire is so middle school. The irony, the sarcasm, it's just perfect for them. They're just developing this like ability to control that. So I'm excited to see how we do that. We started with persuasion, where I noticed that they definitely picked up on satire. I never mentioned the word satire, but they picked up on it. Oh. They thought the irony was just so funny in the book. So I'm really excited to see where that goes.
That is so cool. So satire, sarcasm, irony, absurdism, these are all really complex concepts that they can be hard to pick up on. So you said your kids kind of picked up on it without you really even mentioning it. So this is, again, teaching elementary school, I love sarcasm. Sarcasm is my first language. But I had to really dial it back when I was working with my third graders because they didn't get it and it came across as biting and I was hurting kids' feelings. Are they able to pick it up as early as middle school?
Yeah, for sure. They, for the Persuasion book club, their writing challenge was to write about their favorite character. And most of them picked up on the most satiric character in the book, which is Anne's sister, Mary Musgrove. And they all just picked up and they pointed out how funny it was, how funny she was written, the ironic statements that she made, the ironic actions that she made. And she was just such a minor character of the book. And so for a lot of them to just pick up the character as their favorite too, I was like, oh, I didn't even mention she was my favorite, but it was like they had picked up on it. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely like subconsciously teaching satire. So I'm like, thinking maybe we should focus on that and like see what we can get out of it.
So how is it that you're using that to teach critical thinking? Where's the connection there? And then where do you take it?
Yeah. So the great connections with satire is, the things I had to explain to them about persuasion and what made things funny was like what was happening at the time. So they've been able to conceptualize that society was different. There were different societal expectations for women, for men, for married women, and they had to process those societal concepts and then apply that to what they were reading in the book. And of course, this sounds like so technical and boring, but they were doing it in their own heads, where they like picked up how funny it was that Jane Austen was just basically mocking society at the time, and they picked it up on their own.
That is so cool. So do you see them start to incorporate that, whether it's in their book discussions or in their writing during your current events writing club? Where do you see kids applying that?
I see that most in the book club, where they say like, oh, this character said this, but then she did this, and that's why it was funny. They're literally explaining like the irony or the sarcasm. So I see it most in book club, and I think that's where I'm most passionate is in literature. And current events is kind of just like a quick daily thing.
I see.
So it's a little bit different. But yeah, definitely in book club, where I see them picking up my appreciation for irony and sarcasm. So I definitely want to turn a more focused look on it, just because it's so fun and interesting to me, and just the ability to match concepts with what was going on in the time. And the one I'm working on right now is Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal, which is absolutely gory and just heinous if you're just reading it without any context. Mm-hmm. So I want to provide them that context and see if they pick up on the critical thinking and empathy that comes with what was happening to make someone write something so grotesque.
That is awesome. Now, are you also having the discussion with the kids about how it can come across as a little bit of an aggressive style, or that not everybody will take kindly to satire and sarcasm?
I think that's built in, where they are using their own forms of sarcasm and irony, and then seeing like, maybe my parents don't appreciate it as much as Miss Megan would, or maybe my parents won't appreciate it as much as my friends would. Perfect. So I think that's just a part of being a middle schooler, and just like developing your own sense of self and seeing who thinks it's funny and who thinks it's not. So I definitely think we should cover that for sure.
Yeah, this is really complex thought that they're learning in such a fun way. Again, Megan Miller, you're running the curriculum library for iLEAD Exploration. Just so many different resources. Megan, how can families get more information on your program?
You can go to the iLEAD Exploration website, and I know that that's the way to, that's where everything happens. So everything there, and then that's also the way to enroll.
Fantastic. And again, that's iLEADexploration.org, iLEADexploration.org for more information or to enroll today. Megan, you're awesome. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley. We're coming to you live from the center of Main Street here in beautiful downtown Newhall. And if you're watching us live on the Facebook Live feed, you just got a good look at a couple of glasses here, a wine glass, and it looks like a little miniature beer stein here. So let's figure out what's going on. My next guest is Kelly O'Keefe. Kelly is the purveyor of SCV Connected podcast and a prolific event planner. She was recognized as one of Santa Clarita's 40 under 40 in 2019. And if you're not familiar with that distinction, that is quite an amazing distinction and an incredible predictor of the folks that are stepping into those movers and shakers roles here in Santa Clarita. She's also represented the largest employer in Santa Clarita. What is it? Is it Magic Mountain?
Princess Cruises.
Princess Cruises, the largest employer in Santa Clarita. And also at various nonprofit events. Kelly loves the idea of community and that we are all better together. In her free time, she plans and coordinates fundraising events for local nonprofit organizations like this event coming up, Cheers for Charity, a beer and wine and concert festival benefiting one of my favorite organizations, the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. Not familiar with the Michael Hoefflin Foundation? How dare you? You're about to find out all about it. Kelly, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So good to have you in. We appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get to Cheers for Charity. I mentioned the SCV Connected podcast. What is that?
Yes. So thank you so much. I am just a proud community member of the Santa Clarita Valley, and I love staying connected to people and events and businesses. And I'm created this platform to use it and leverage it as a way to get connected with our wonderful neighbors who are doing really inspiring things. And so I recommend checking it out on your favorite podcast platform.
So what kind of things do you talk about on the SCV Connected podcast?
We talk about the heart behind why small business owners created their business.
Okay.
We talk about the passion. We talk about people doing meaningful, impactful work in the nonprofit space. I talk to moms. I talk to volunteers. Anyone really in my sphere. I just want to know who they are, why they're doing what they are. And I want to doing what they're doing. And I want to take down that filter of what I see on social media and just find out who they really are.
Yeah, we've got so many beautiful things going on in the Valley and just amazing people all over the place. And it's a great way to get folks connected to what's going on here in the Valley and around them. So what made you decide to do a podcast like that?
Oh my gosh, I've always been so inspired by people and stories and just my passion for Santa Clarita. I've always known that what we have is so special. And so if I can bring the two together in any way possible, Princess Cruises was so gracious in letting me take a podcasting class to further my education there. I thought I was going to go in a different direction. I thought I was bringing a podcast to Princess Cruises. But post-COVID, everything has just led me to SCV Connected.
Well, that is fantastic. Have you always been into broadcasting, or is this something that was just born there when you were at Princess?
Yeah, funny you should ask. Now that I think about it, it always has been there. I did my senior project with Lynette Romero from KTLA.
Oh, cool.
And so it's always been in there. Sometimes things stop you from pursuing your dreams, but I am living it out now. Yeah,
definitely. And you certainly have an affinity for it. You're doing great things. So again, the SCV podcast available on any podcast platform.
Yep.
So
on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Even on YouTube. Very cool. But you're not here to talk about that, Kelly.
I'm not.
You
I'm
are not.
Yes.
You're coordinating another amazing community event benefiting the Michael Hoefflin Foundation called Cheers for Charity, Beer, Wine, and Concert Festival. So let's start here. Cheers for Charity is for the benefit of the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. Can you talk to us about the Michael Hoefflin Foundation for our listeners who aren't familiar?
Yeah, the Michael Hoefflin Foundation is all about supporting families that are going through the throes of pediatric cancer, and they help with emotional support as well as being that really linking arms with families and walking them through this horrific diagnosis.
Yeah, I think folks can understand. I don't know that any of us who've been on this earth more than a few years haven't been touched by cancer in one form or another. Cancer diagnosis is such an incredible tragedy. I think the only thing worse is to have a child of yours diagnosed with cancer.
I can't even imagine.
And this is something that the Hoefflin family went through several decades ago. And one of the things that they noticed is, there's a lot of research out there. Doctors are doing some great things, providing treatment, and there's some hospitals and some foundations doing terrific things for kids that are dealing with this unexpected tragedy. But one of the gaps that they noticed is services to the families.
Yes.
Right. I remember hearing stories about Michael Hoefflin's parents, sitting in a chair in the hospital and thinking, oh, I don't have a blanket. I don't have a toothbrush, and all these different things that we don't think of. The Michael Hoefflin Foundation is providing.
And so they're focused just on children. I love that because sometimes cancer can be so broad, but they have specialized in this. They're the go-to resource for Santa Clarita and surrounding cities.
Right.
And like you said, when you get this diagnosis as a parent, you are just in a fog. And so they really just reach out, everything from it costs money to park at the hospital. And so all of that adds up. Most of the time, if you have a child going through this, one or both parents are going to have to quit their jobs because the child can't go to school when they're during treatments. And it's really cumbersome on the entire family. And the community that supports that family as well. So the Michael Hoefflin Foundation is just so connected, and they're pros. They are your go-to.
They really are. Like I said, they've been around for several decades now and have really streamlined their process. If you've ever been to their offices, they work on a shoestring budget. They try to make sure that everything gets straight into the hands of the family. And they really rely on, they rely solely on donations, contributions, and that's why these special events are so important, so they can provide these incredible services for families. So talk to us about Cheers for Charity. What is this event that you're putting on? When is it? How can folks get involved?
September 9th. So Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, we want to see you there at the Canyon Country Community Center, which is in the heart of the Canyon Country, right in the heart of Canyon Country.
Right there on Sierra Highway and Soledad Canyon.
Yes,
beautiful complex.
Facility.
Yeah.
And so we are throwing a party. We are having a Beach Boys as well as the Eagles tribute bands attend.
Yeah.
We're having tastings from local businesses in the wine and beer industry, and as well as beer and wine from out of town. And so it's just going to be a great time. There's a silent auction.
Oh, great.
There's going to be food trucks. There's space for the children to have fun. There's going to be cornhole. There's going to be Connect 4. So lots of fun things, all in the name of the Michael Hoefflin Foundation.
That is fantastic. So, you so many restaurants here in town really specialize. We've got probably half a dozen breweries right here in town, producing microbrews or bringing in beers from around the state. And then obviously there's an incredible bottle of wine available in just about every restaurant in town. So you've got that coming in. So folks can sample beer and wine. You're going to have food trucks, music. Tell us again, you've got 2 world-class tribute bands coming in.
Yeah.
And I always love the names of tribute bands. You've got an Eagles tribute band called Peaceful Easy Eagles, right? So you're going to start humming that soft melody. And then the Beach Boys tribute band called Surfin'.
Yes.
Have you heard either of these bands before?
You know what? I actually have. So I worked at the senior center for a little bit, and these bands were fabulous. To see the senior community go crazy, I just knew that we had to spread the wealth in supporting this company that finds such great bands. So here we are.
Yeah, definitely. And it's such timeless music, right?
It really is.
Yeah. So kids love the Eagles and the Beach Boys, and us old folks do as well. And so it's something that, generation across generation can really appreciate the music. Who's not going to love the food at the food truck? A nice sip of beer, sip of wine. Well, and then you've got this host. Who is this guy? Has anybody ever heard of this guy that's hosting Cheers for Charity?
Right. Oh, no one's ever heard of Mr. Rock and Roll. Nope.
You're talking about Mr. Rock and Roll. He's the legendary DJ Brian Byrne. I mean, talk about legendary. He is Mr. Rock and Roll. He's got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he's hosting your event, Cheers for Charity.
He's bringing us the bands, and that's what I mean by I know that these bands are fantastic. And so it's going to be a great time. You're going to have maybe the crowd that's over doing the tastings and not paying attention as much to the band, but there's that background music that's so good. Or you're going to have those that are going to pull up a chair and sit in the front row and just enjoy the music. And that's what I love about this event. It's casual. You're going to have a great time. We're outdoors.
Okay.
And so it's going to be so fun. I think Concerts in the Park meets nonprofits, meets beer and wine. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Engineer Andrew and I were just talking earlier this morning, and it was just kind of the trombone moment. Womp womp. It's September. Concerts in the Park are over now.
Right.
We're going to have to wait another year. But no, y'all are throwing a concert in a different park.
Right.
And so that led me to one of my questions. So you're at what producer Sarah loves to, producer Sarah is such a hipster. She calls it C4.
Oh, me
C4.
too. Me
What's
too.
C4?
That's like internal lingo.
Oh yeah. It is so hip. She is such the lady about town. It is the Canyon Country Community Center, right? So that's C4, right? And again, if you haven't been to the Canyon Country Community Center, C4, it's right there in the center of Canyon Country. Gorgeous complex that our city finished just last year.
Right.
But it's this beautiful indoor event complex that the doors open up and it just spills outdoors. But so is this? So
yeah, it's indoor, outdoor, and we're
perfect.
utilizing the outdoor space. We are not going to be inside at your typical fundraising event.
Get out there and spread around.
And what I love about this facility and why I chose it is because there's a park nearby, there's community, there's neighbors nearby, and we're really hoping that families can see their child at the park, come back to the event, enjoy. It's something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, there's a playground kind of adjacent to the park there. Yeah. And then there's this just gorgeous stage. I'm assuming that's where your concert's going to be.
We are. Yep.
And it just kind of, it's, while it's not recessed, it's got that kind of Hollywood Bowl style feeling, right? Where from the stage, things just kind of spew out there, and then there's a place to just kind of hang out. So families.
We're going to keep you cozy in there. And the setup is going to be one of those feel good, like you said, environment, like Hollywood Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. So bring a picnic blanket if you want. Bring a chair. I'm also going to have some formal seating out there towards the front if you forgot your chair.
Oh.
So don't worry. The VIP area will have a lounge where you can get free desserts and you can come and go as you'd like. But really casual, fun, family. That's what it's all about.
Okay. So you got VIP. Did you say free desserts with the VIP?
Yes.
Okay. I'm all about a free dessert.
And really good parking, let me tell you.
Okay. Perfect. There you go. So, and that venue as well is perfect for restaurants and breweries and things like that to set up their wares for folks to sample. And then you've got the little driveway where I'm sure your food trucks are going to be set up. I'm looking here at the weather. Next weekend is going to be perfect late summer weather. I'm guessing. Tell me what time the event starts on September 9th, you said, right?
Yes. Great question. So the event is from 5 to 10 p.m. Perfect. But if you're VIP, you get to come in an hour early, starting at 4 p.m.
All right.
Claim your spot. And we're speaking about beer, wine, families, and, how is it connected? But we are providing safe driving options. So we are partnering with Lyft as well as Go Santa Clarita. We want nothing more than to get you to and from the event safely. So check out our Instagram page as well as Facebook for Michael Hoefflin. And we have a coupon code we'll be releasing as it gets closer to the event for Lyft. But Go Santa Clarita is always a resource.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And so, again, Cheers for Charity, benefiting the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. September 9th, 5 to 10. Again, I'm looking at the weather here. It's going to be a perfect late summer evening where 5 o'clock, it's going to be a little bit warm. So bring your beach chairs or your blankets. But then as the sun goes down,
and you can bring a charcuterie board, whatever you'd like, you know, or some sandwiches, or we have food trucks available for you. I will give you a little pro tip. The best bang for your buck is probably general admission. That's $30. And if you use the coupon code SCV Connected, you'll get an extra 10% off. But, you know, that allows you to get in, you get your tasting glass, and then you can check out if you want to do some tastings or not.
So are these the tasting glasses right here? This is what folks are going to get?
Yes, I brought them for you.
All right. And our fans on Facebook Live can see those right there on camera. Engineer Andrew zooming in there. So yeah, they'll get their tasting glass and they'll be able to move around and do some tasting.
And that will go home with them. So it's going to be a really special event.
Absolutely love it. This is an event folks are not going to want to miss. So we're talking this morning with Kelly O'Keefe, an amazing leader in our community, and she's coordinating Cheers for Charity, a beer, wine, and concert festival benefiting the Michael Hoefflin Foundation, again, September 9th, 5 to 10 p.m.
Yes.
Unless you're a VIP.
Right.
Then you're in at 4. Kelly, tell us before we go to break, how folks get tickets. You said they're $30. You can get a discount.
Yep. There's an event specific page, but you can go to the Michael Hoefflin website, www.mhf.org. So that's Michael, Hotel and Foxtrot, MHF if you're driving. So remember that one, and there'll be something that pops right up.
Yeah, Michael Hoefflin Foundation, MHF.org, and you can get tickets. Use a coupon code SCV Connected to get a little bit of a discount, but still benefiting the amazing Michael Hoefflin Foundation and all the things that they're doing for families suffering with the tragedy of pediatric cancer. I want to talk more with Kelly when we get back, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back right after this. I am Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and I'm joined this morning by Kelly O'Keefe, host of the SCV Connected podcast, leader in our community, and coordinator of the Cheers for Charity Beer, Wine, and Concert Festival benefiting the Michael Hoefflin Foundation, coming up just next Saturday, September 9th, from 5 to 10 p.m., 4 p.m. if you've got VIP tickets. And VIP tickets come with that early entry, that VIP parking, and say it again.
Oh, your commemorative glass, of course. You're going to walk away.
Yeah.
And free dessert.
Free dessert.
And access to the VIP lounge, of course.
and I am... I'm all about that. Again, it's at the Canyon Country Community Center, September 9th, right there in the center of town. Just an absolutely beautiful outdoor venue, and you've got musical guests. You've got an Eagles tribute band. You've got a Beach Boys tribute band. It's just going to be an absolutely amazing evening. So folks, again, can get tickets at the Michael Hoefflin Foundation website, which is super easy. It's mhf.org. But then I also found, you mentioned there's an event-specific website, beautiful website, and very easy to find. I just Googled Cheers for Charity.
Did you?
Boom, came right up. So it says, I'm just going to read straight from the website because that's not boring, right? Oh my God. We're so excited to announce our newest fundraiser for the Michael Hoefflin Foundation for Children's Cancer, Cheers for Charity. Join us Saturday, September 9th for a live concert, tastings for the adults, a variety of activities. So this is something that's interesting. I think Cheers for Charity, beer, wine. So this is an adult event, but it's not. It's something for the whole family. So talk to us about what the kids are going to be able to do. Cause I'm just going to get over there and get my sip on. But,
this is like concerts in the park, but with beer and wine for the adults.
There we go.
So there's open space for the kids to play and have a great time. So if they want to bring a game like Monopoly or something, they're totally more than welcome to do that. But we will have, like cornhole available,
Perfect.
Connect 4, so bigger lawn games. And then we're also going to have a caricature artist that's going to do fun drawings. We're also going to have a photo booth. The kids are just going to have a great time with the music. They're more than welcome to dance and have fun. it's really an event for the entire family. That facility really just provides that, given the playground nearby.
Sure.
There's houses and residential space nearby. So come with the family. The weather is going to be great and you'll have a fabulous time.
It absolutely is going to be great. And you talk about fun for the kids. One of the things I love about C4, I'm trying to stay hip here, the Canyon Country Community Center. They've got so much sidewalk, and they're always so encouragingly sad that their sidewalk is so blank and empty, and it's just this blank canvas for kids. And so there's always the sidewalk chalk out there, and by the time any event's done, the sidewalk is always covered with just beautiful works of art that the kids are putting together.
And a little insider tip. So the night before, the city's hosting the Celebrate event, which is they're going to be doing the China Celebrate event. So yes, come out both nights, Friday and Saturday. It's just a facility that really specializes in like bringing families and the community together. I guess it's a community center. Right.
Go figure. Go figure. But, it is a venue that the east side of town has been waiting for a long time. And it's really just revitalized kind of the, great daytime events there, but also evening events. You mentioned Celebrate happening the night before, Friday night, the 8th. Right. But
and it's going to be outdoors. So plan for that. Sometimes events you think indoors, if you're hosting like a quinceañera or you're hosting a charity event or a gala. But this one, Cheers for Charity, is outdoors. It's for the entire family, and it's going to be a great time. Yeah, absolutely. And so I did mention that it's a beer and wine festival, but it benefits families of children dealing with cancer. Because the event features alcohol, the Michael Hoefflin Foundation has partnered with Lyft to offer a special discount code for guests. Talk a little bit more about that and kind of why that was important to you organizing this event. Oh my gosh, that was so important to us. From the very beginning, we have a special price for designated drivers. We are a family organization that works with young children. And so there's nothing more than keeping our community safe. So we want people to get to our neighbors to get to and from the event safely. We also have partnered with Go Santa Clarita. So that shuttle is going to be available for you as well and have a presence on site. And Lyft is giving you a discount, like you had mentioned. Download the app. We're going to be releasing a coupon code specific to just the event. So if you try to use it anywhere else, it won't work. They're not going to pick me up at the airport with this. Okay. Right, exactly. Very cool. But we want you there. We want your family there, but safely. I love that. So yeah, if you're looking at driving out to the event, then take it easy. Taste a little bit of beer, taste a little bit of wine, and then kick back and enjoy the music. But if you really want to, well, let's just say get into the event. Right. Yeah. Right. Maybe take a lift over there and take a lift home. Exactly. But also know that it's an event, like you said, designated driving price, that designated driver ticket price. We also want to cater to those that maybe aren't into drinking. Maybe you're on a cleanse right now. Sure. Or you're just not drinking at the moment. And that's totally fine. Come and enjoy the music and be in a space with community outdoors and have fun. Yeah. Yeah. So one more time, how can folks attend? Where can they get tickets? Do they just show up on the day of the event or is it? So we do want you to pre-purchase your tickets, especially if you're going to purchase general admission or above, because you will get a free tasting glass that's included. And so we want to be able to meet that need and not run out of glasses. So please register ahead of time. You're going to register at www.mhf.org. And that's the Michael Hoefflin Foundation page. You can always just type that into Google, like Michael Hoefflin Foundation, and it will pop right up, or Cheers for Charity. But today, if you want to go ahead and register today, we would love that. And use the coupon code SCV Connected, all capital letters, and you'll receive an extra discount. Fantastic. Discount with the SCV Connected coupon code. Again, mhf.org, or you can Google Cheers for Charity. Again, perfect website that pops right up. You've got a schedule of events, so you can even see which bands are playing first. And again, you've got surfing. If you don't mind, on Instagram and Facebook, we're releasing tons of information. So you can hear the bands. We have a video of that. Little tidbit, pro tips, if you will, like what to bring. And so you'll be all set. I love it. So you're not just planning the event for Michael Hoefflin Foundation. You're planning the event for the folks that are attending. All right, here we go. Let's plan. Let's get your picnic basket packed. Right. So who should folks be following on Instagram to get these tips? The Michael Hoefflin Foundation. Oh, I love it. Okay, great. Fantastic. So follow the Michael Hoefflin Foundation on social media and
and you'll get all these inside looks to the event. Cheers for Charity coming up. It's just next weekend, so folks need to get their tickets now.
Yes, you need to get your tickets now. And why it's important for us to have this event in September, because September is National Pediatric Cancer Awareness. Yeah. And so we don't take that lightly. We want to celebrate and have a good time, but we also know that this is very important to raise money to help families that are in the throes of cancer.
And this is what I love about these kind of events, right? Because this is a kind of a serious, heavy topic that we need to put our weight, our support behind, but we can do it in a way where we get connected with the rest of the SCV and have a good time, bring the family out, and just enjoy a great late summer evening in the park there at Canyon Country Community Center. Absolutely love it. Some of the things, or one of the things that a lot of these different types of events really depend on is the generosity of some of our local businesses and kind of big wigs in town. Do you have any sponsorships still available? If, let's say, a small business or maybe a whole family says, hey, we want to get out there and show the rest of the community how much we support pediatric cancer charities. Do you have sponsorships available still?
Definitely. And I am of the mind of, if you've missed the time to be, say, on the banner or in the program book, we will create something for you specific. Maybe we'll create something where we acknowledge you on social media a certain amount of times, or we will blast your name. We really rely on community partners with the businesses, the sponsorships. And so we couldn't do it without those partners. So yes, please, even if you can't attend the event, but you want to make a donation, you can do that through the website, mhf.org. But those sponsorships are crucial and very vital to, the future of the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. So let's get connected and we'll figure something out. But we have 1 week left, so don't miss out.
I love that you're flexible like that, right? Because this might be, there's so much going on in the community. It may have missed my radar, but I've got a business where we really love the Michael Hoefflin Foundation, or maybe I just heard about the foundation and I love this and want to get on board. But the event's a week away and I missed the opportunity to sponsor. No, y'all are going to be creative and say, okay, we've already printed the banners, but hey, let's jam your company's name out there and let folks know.
We always send a thank you note. So, there's tons of opportunities this day and age, or let's get you on an interview, a live or something like that. With social media, it makes it so accessible to really come together and for the benefit of each other, but then collectively for this cause.
Yeah. And again, doing great things. I'm looking at your website that your goal is to raise $50,000 through this event. And y'all are almost there.
We are almost there, but we're not. But so close. So,
super close, but the tickets aren't sold out. You've still got room for sponsorships. You're totally going to make it. And I'm going to challenge Santa Clarita to just bust that thermometer on their $50,000 goal.
Let's do it today. Use that promo code.
There you go.
SCV Connected.
SCV Connected promo code will get you a little bit of a discount, but you'll still contribute to getting to that goal. So tell me, what will that $50,000 do? Well, we're going to go way beyond that $50,000. What will that $50,000 plus amount do for families of pediatric cancer patients? Because that's what this event is all about.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked, because that's so important. It goes to financial and emotional support services. And so that is what the Michael Hoefflin Foundation does. It doesn't just stop, even if the patient's in remission. There are support services and emotional support that is needed for years to come after, not just for the patient, but for the family. There are things that you don't even think about when you're not going through this, but the cost of parking every time you go to the hospital, things like that. Your medication needs to be refrigerated. If your refrigerator goes out, those are things that are so vital and so important. And the Michael Hoefflin Foundation just steps right in and assists with that. Oftentimes, one or both parents will have to give up their careers because with doctor's appointments and the child maybe can't go to school, compromised immune system. So that should never be a reason why someone can't get treatment or emotional support or financial help. And so the Michael Hoefflin Foundation is really, they're just, a group of angels, truly.
Yeah. And that's certainly not coincidental, the wings that they have as their logo. Yeah, they just step in and really throw their arms around families suffering from a pediatric cancer diagnosis and really fill a lot of those gaps to take care of the families that are taking care of their babies. looking here, general admission is $30, but for an extra $20 more, just a little bit more, VIP admission includes the exclusive early bird starting at 4 p.m. You get the branded. Those glasses are worth $50 right there. Those glasses are
right?
Absolutely amazing.
And parking. Don't forget parking. So parking at this facility, it can be. We have the playground nearby and we have residential houses nearby. So parking fills up fast. But for VIP, we have you covered.
Perfect. And then you also have the exclusive VIP seating area right there by the concert stage. So you're going to get a front row seat as a VIP. And again, it's just a couple bucks more. But then you've also got, absolutely love this, the Michael Hoefflin Foundation and you coordinating the event. Just really think of everything. You've got a designated driver ticket where it's a little bit cheaper for a designated driver. So no, I'm driving the rest of these rowdies home. Right, and so it's cheaper for me. And the kids, of course, are.
Hey, I'm on a workout program or, and I'm not drinking tonight.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. And then, kids are half price, of course, because they're only half size. But yeah, a really affordable event to get out and do something great for the community. Again, it is Cheers for Charity, a beer, wine, and concert festival out at Canyon Country Community Center, Saturday, September 9th.
Yep.
Starting at 5 p.m. I think I've got it all down. More information at the Michael Hoefflin Foundation website.
Yes, and FOMO is guaranteed. You're going to have that fear of missing out if you don't come. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Do not miss out. Again, if you're bummed out like engineer and Andrew and I were this morning that Concerts in the Park is done for the year, they're not. We've got a double band, not just one band playing, but two tribute bands playing at the Canyon Country Community Center Saturday, September 9th, benefiting the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. Again, you can just Google Cheers for Charity or go to mhf.org for more information on that. So, Kelly, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, my gosh. No, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
You're doing beautiful work in the community. The least we can do is support you, let folks know about it.
Stop.
Kelly, my mom, she won't let me have nice things of my own. She won't. So she makes me share my radio show with my stupid brother. And so he calls in with some trivia question and some really corny jokes. So can you stick around and play a little bit of trivia with us?
I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, you stick around too. Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame are coming up. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and iLEAD School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. Kelly O'Keefe from the SCV Connected podcast and Cheers for Charity event is joining me this morning. But now it is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Y'all know Big T. Big T is an executive and philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and community leader. He's a world traveler, and he's also the world's greatest dog dad. Here he is, everybody. He's mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Well, hey, Matty.
Hey, a little bit garbled there. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, thanks. Is that better?
That is much better. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How you doing?
Good.
Hey.
Good. Your voice sounds a little rough this morning. You still smoking them Pall Malls?
Still what?
Smoking those Pall Malls?
Yeah, you know me. Hey, I understand the prodigal son came back in town. He's up there visiting. Where is Scott, Tony? Where is he? Tony, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
All right, no problem. So yeah, your son Scott is visiting you now that you've moved into the new house. Where's the boy?
He's sleeping on the couch right now.
All right, very cool. I also understand you guys got a nice, gorgeous place near the Columbia River.
Yes, we do.
Where's the Columbia River in relation to you right now?
It's right over there.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So, Kelly, Tony's got some trivia questions for us. Engineer Andrew, you're going to play as well.
I have my phone. Can I use like Google or phone a friend or something?
Hey, absolutely.
If
you're not, go ahead. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I'm using my resources. Let's put it that way.
Kelly, what we're going to do is Tony's going to throw out a trivia question. And if you know the answer, you have to hit your buzzer first. It's your name. Just call out your name.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, where's the
buzzer? So, yeah, just call out Kelly. Andrew's going to play as well. For some unknown reason, I'm going to shout out Frogger. And then Tony will recognize you, and then you can throw your answer. So if your thumbs are fast enough, you go ahead and cheat. All right, Big T, what do you got?
Perfect. Hey, got a little fun to kick us off. You know, we got the NFL starting this upcoming week. Matt, there was a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan and season ticket holder that when he passed away a couple years back, he actually requested in part of his closing paperwork is he wanted to have 6 Cleveland Brown players as his pallbearers at his funeral. Well, the Browns granted the request. The unusual thing is the reason why he wanted it is he wanted the Browns to let him down just one last time.
Oh my gosh, stop.
That is cold-blooded. That is cold-blooded.
Speaking of which, Papa's pick of the week, and Papa's 0-1 so far this year, but he says take BYU and lay the points.
Take BYU and lay the points. All right. Fantastic. So, Tony, you said the NFL season is starting this weekend. Is it this weekend?
No, Thursday.
Oh, next week is week 1. Would you do me a favor and call my friend Jenner and let him know? He's sending out his picks already. I don't know.
Already got it. All right, you ready?
Yeah, we are ready. Kelly, you ready?
I'm ready. My thumbs are ready.
All right, hands on your buzzers.
All right, which Irish band had hits in the 90s with the songs Linger and Zombie?
Andrew.
Oh, okay. The Cranberries.
Cranberries is correct.
Oh my gosh, Cranberries. You're taking me back.
A little shoddy. I'm close to Canada, so if I'm wrong on the name, correct me.
No, it's Cranberries. I think Andrew was the one who was a little off on the name. What name are you going by today?
Oh, I said Andrew. Did I say that?
Did you say Andrew?
Did I say that?
Okay.
I thought I said that.
Okay, I thought you shouted Linger.
Oh,
I thought you did too.
Did I?
Okay,
I recognize the voice.
Tony, not to bring the
what's
show
the-
down, but it's one of my favorite. It's a heart touching story. I think the name I could get it wrong. I think it's Bad Wolf is the name of the rock band. There's a heavy metal rock band that covered "Zombie" by the Cranberries a few years back, and the lead singer of Cranberries was actually supposed to do it with them. She was going to sing the chorus. However, the day they were the day they were recording in studios, the day that she passed away tragically.
Oh my God!
Right? It was this thing just rocked their world, and if you know the circumstances of her passing, it was just doubly tragic. What they did is they got back in the studio a couple of months later, and they recorded it. If you Google it, it's like I said, I think it's Bad Wolf, Zombie, or if you just Google Zombie cover. It's an amazing, hard rocking song. Really, really good cover. And they, before they ever recorded, decided the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, were going to go to her children to take care of them.
That's awesome.
Only hit the band ever had. Only hit they ever had. And the proceeds go to her kids. So, yeah, the least they...
God rest her soul, Maddie. You want me to call back next segment so you can finish up?
Big T, it was good talking to you. Thanks again for joining my show. No, we still got a couple of minutes. We cheated you last week, but we're going to give you some room to spread out, Tony. So
nice.
Go for it.
All right. What name was given to bars selling illegal alcohol during Prohibition?
Frogger. Speakeasies.
Oh my gosh.
Speakeasies is correct.
And we've actually got a new one in town. But I won't tell about it.
Did you have these questions ahead of time? Wait a second.
What movie's title character is changed to Two Socks when he's seen dancing around?
Frogger. What movie's title? Dances with Wolves.
That is correct.
You know who else goes by Two Socks is your nephew Shannon.
Yes, that is true. Hey, the Arabic name for season gave us the name for South Asia's rainy season.
Frogger. Monsoon.
Monsoon is correct.
Okay. This ain't no happy.
Oh my gosh,
right?
Yeah. What the heck? What's in that noggin? What'd you have for breakfast?
What part of the human body heals the fastest?
Kelly. Oh, I just wanted to answer.
Right, there you go.
What part of the body heals the fastest? I feel like it's like the mouth.
Mouth is correct. Nice book.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes.
SCV connected. Woo!
Love it.
Which astronomer is called out in Bohemian Rhapsody?
Kelly.
Oh.
Neil Armstrong. I don't know. I'm just making up. That's the only Ash I know.
Neil Armstrong.
Astronomer.
Neil Armstrong. Let me go. Frogger. Galileo.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Galileo's correct.
Did you sing this song?
Although Neil Armstrong oddly fits right in there perfectly. I'm gonna ask Queen Nation to mix that in next time.
Perfect. Hey, we got an audience over here as well. Bo's on the board.
Who's on the board?
Bo.
All right.
Yeah, he's our new project manager. Come on, get on board.
Oh, hey, Bo. How you doing, Bo? All right.
Join the party, Bo.
Very cool. Bo's on the board.
All right. Who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
Frogger. I've got to apologize, history major. That would be Francis Scott Key, and in fact, he wrote it on a ship where he had been taken prisoner of war during the War of 1812, but that's too much
No
information.
bonus points.
Gosh,
Blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
Show off.
All right. What song did Paul McCartney pen for John Lennon's son, Julian?
Ooh.
Frogger.
All right. Okay.
Roger.
Hey, Jude.
Really?
Hey, Jude is correct.
Yep.
That's the second answer you sang, by the way. Just
You're just showing off. Come on.
It's that second cup of coffee.
all right. What's made from beets, carrots, celery, lettuce, parsley, spinach, tomatoes, and watercress?
Kelly. Something really healthy.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Something I should
smoothie.
be eating more of. Yeah.
Right,
A
right.
protein shake. I don't know.
What was the answer?
I just said I was being funny, like a smoothie. I'll steal yours.
Incorrect.
Nope.
Maybe like hummus.
Anybody
I don't
else?
know. Anyone else?
No, Robert Davis is on the board, though, with V8.
V8.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Should have had one.
Smoothie was like kind of along those lines. Don't
Yeah.
you have like
Right.
a V8
Let's go with
like, smoothie one.
What president was a licensed bartender?
Oh, Frogger.
Roger.
Millard Fillmore. That guy could party.
Incorrect.
Kelly
Kelly.
was like Kennedy. I feel like he's like a partier. Yeah, maybe he did like a home
Incorrect.
Oh.
I could throw out the hit 16.
Oh, the 16th. Washington,
Yeah,
Adams,
sure.
Jefferson,
Nope.
Madison, Monroe, Quincy Adams.
You got it.
What was it?
Look at it. One of
Like,
the
You got me.
they made us learn the presidents, but they didn't tell us which
Abraham
one
Lincoln.
was the bartender. It's Lincoln.
Okay.
Of course.
Abraham Lincoln was
The
a
Bart-
bartender. Oh, yeah.
This is valuable information we should
Right.
learn in school. Like,
That's why the Snowpiper hat, man. He had a bottle of whiskey up under
There
there.
we
There
go.
it
We
is.
can fit the full 750 milliliters up in there.
this is the fun stuff. I love it.
Which Canadian hockey player is considered the greatest of all time?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Carrie Underwood's husband. What's his name? He's a hockey player. Mike something.
He is a hockey player.
Mike.
Mike Underwood.
Oh.
Frogger.
Andrew. Okay.
Roger.
Go for it. Now Andrew was
Go
first.
Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky's correct.
Yeah.
He's the great one.
What number does every baseball player wear on April 15th?
Andrew.
Andrew.
42.
42 is correct.
Jackie Robinson.
Shout out to Jackie. What fast food chain once used the slogan, think outside the bun?
Oh, Frogger.
Kelly?
Oh, okay.
Stronger than Kelly.
I'm going with KFC.
Incorrect, Kelly.
I'm thinking Jack in a Box.
Incorrect.
Andrew.
Andrew, you
Taco
got
Bell.
anything? Taco Bell's correct.
Hey.
Nice pull.
Oh.
Who was the first president to visit all 50 states?
Oh. Frogger.
Frogger.
It's got to be Bill Clinton.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Andrew. Reagan.
Andrew. Incorrect. Before him?
No.
Ooh. I can picture his
Anybody?
face. Like he's older, white hair. Carter,
just
Carter, Kelly, Jimmy Carter. That's my final answer.
That's great. Incorrect. It's actually Richard Nixon.
Aw.
I was going to say, Kelly just described every president ever.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Okay, next time I get to bring the trivia questions.
All right,
It'll
all right.
be like celebrity stuff. Pop culture.
All right, sticking with presidents, which U.S. president was a law professor?
Frogger. Oh, law
Frogger.
professor. Like half of them were lawyers. I'm going to go John Quincy Adams.
Incorrect. More recent.
Nope. Not going to say it.
Kelly,
Kelly.
wasn't it Trump? Didn't he have like a college and stuff? And didn't he teach? So maybe he taught his own college.
Bill Clinton.
Oh, Clinton.
Oh.
Dang it. I was trying to like link this together.
No, I like it. I like it. He's trying to convince
Right.
Big T that her answer is
That was the
correct.
answer.
Hey, there we go.
Where do U.S. vice presidents live?
Oh. There's a house.
In the house.
Kelly.
In a house. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, next door to the White House. I don't know.
All right, moving on. It's the U.S. U.S. Naval Observatory.
Oh, okay. Where you can observe the Navy.
Yeah.
Yes. Which three states share a border with California?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Arizona, Nevada, Oregon.
That's correct.
Was that
What are the
important?
first names of the five?
Calling out your name.
What are the first names of the five brothers that made up the Jackson Five?
Oh. Oh, okay. Frogger.
Frogger, go for it.
There's Michael, Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, and Marlon. No, that's a Wans.
That's a good pull.
Did you get it?
Did I get all five?
Correct.
Oh, I thought it was a one.
Oh my God.
There was a Marlon Jackson.
Dang.
There was a Marlon Jackson, yes. How many folds are in a chef's hat?
Oh gosh.
Frogger.
27. Oh, you're going to get nailed for this later, Frogger.
Kelly.
No, that's incorrect.
Kelly. 21.
Incorrect.
Dang it.
No, Andrew, 13.
It's 100.
100.
And it signifies how many different ways you can cook an egg.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Really? Because
Know
Egg
any good,
Plantation...
know any good egg restaurants around here?
Yeah, Egg Plantation actually has 101 omelets. Delicious omelets. You got to head over there now.
Gotcha. How many reindeer did Santa have?
Frogger.
Frogger, all of them.
It depends. All of them, yes. It depends. Sorry, I went a different direction with that answer. It depends on which book you're reading, but I'm going with 9. There's the 8 original, and then Rudolph, who came in and saved the day that one time.
That wasn't real. No, 9 is incorrect.
Oh,
Wait, what?
come on.
I have kids. Hold on. I should know this. Okay, then I'm going to say 10.
Oh.
I couldn't name them, though. 8?
Engineer
7?
Andrew?
7 or 10? Huh? 12?
I'll go 8.
8 is correct.
Right.
All right, Big T, we got time for one more question.
All righty, simple one. Which, hands on your buzzer, which boxer was known as the greatest and
Andrew.
the people's
Kelly.
champion? Andrew.
That would be Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. That's correct.
There we go. Big T, we do have to wrap up. Let's check the leaderboard. Frogger's got 8. Kelly, good showing with 2. Engineer Andrew snuck up in the back with 6. I got Bo on the board with 1, Robert Davis on the board with 1, and producer Sarah with 1. Big T, thanks for swinging by. We'd also like to thank our guest Megan Miller with the iLEAD Exploration Curriculum Library for our home study families, Kelly O'Keefe, host of the SCV Connected podcast and coordinator of Cheers for Charity Beer, Wine, and Concert Festival benefiting the Michael Hoefflin Foundation. Get your tickets at mhf.org. Producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, Big T, and thank you for listening. Remember, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be good and do well. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and iLEAD Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.